with the big news of the week that Jon Favreau is coming back. Star Wars is saved because he's going to do a Mandalorian movie called The Mandalorian and Grogu. Possibly the most inventive title in all of history. Are you guys as excited as I'm not?
Everybody has been waiting for more Mando Braby Grungu stuff.
Reason to live.
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Could you imagine if the people who are naming these shows were around before? It wouldn't be Jaws. It would be like the shark and the boat. Star Wars, like spaceships. What are they going to do for Cop Buddy?
I thought it was a placeholder name. I didn't realize it was going to be the actual name.
No, it's the actual name.
It probably was once upon a time. It's like, we'll do this as a project name until we think of something better. And then 6 months later, it's like, we've thought of nothing better.
Released it, and the guy was like, that was the notation. You guys didn't come up with a name.
I mean, they would name Beverly Hills Cop, the cop and the other cop.
No. They call it Black Man in Black Man Leaves Detroit.
No. Like funny black cop and uptight middle-aged cop and young impressionable cop do crime hunting in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
There you go. Nailed it.
Pathetic.
Got him.
But with this, I'm kind of curious about it as well, because I feel like a big announcement like this should have come at something like Star Wars Celebration. Or like something then. Where the fact that it came out like just a few days after all the big controversy around the Rey movie and the director and all her comments just kind of makes me think this is all damage control. It's like, quick, we need a distraction. What's going to take the heat off Charmin on this one? I don't know. Fucking Jon Favreau's directing a Mandalorian movie. And then he sees the headline. He's like, what the fuck? I didn't say I was going to do this. Like, John, we've got some news for you. We direct a Mandalorian movie.
They're probably like, John, don't worry. When we announce this stuff, it doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. It's like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, is Kathleen Kennedy's last hurrah?
Possibly, because
which one?
Like, I mean, as maybe but like, doesn't her contract run out in like the summer?
Towards the end. Yeah. I think autumn of this year.
And she's not renewing it, as far as
I hope not.
As far as I'm aware, this is where she's going to step aside and let one of the Well, it was because it's one of a gaggle of coven of witches is going to take over.
Well, Mauler, I've had it on good authority from Mike Zero that Kathleen Kennedy has already been fired and transformed into an immortal vampire who's sucking the life out of Lucasfilm. And Gina Carano is going to direct the next 6 Star Wars movies.
Hey!
All right.
She was caught on set.
Facts. Yeah.
I swear I've never seen someone with so much dick envy. I think Kathleen Kennedy, that's what it is. She's like, I'm going to cuck and make a eunuch of every legendary hero and franchise.
Yeah, she's almost done. She's only got, a few more to go?
Yes, she's like, everybody. What? I've done a good job.
Tell me I've done a good job.
Tell me.
It's just... like, in terms of like Star Wars movie productions, I guess the slate of films that they've got coming up, like it's just one of the dozen or so projects that have been announced that probably will go nowhere. Like, Taika Waititi doing a movie, is he? Sure, okay, I'll believe it. But with this, I suppose, does anyone think there's even a chance that Jon Favreau could produce potentially a half decent Star Wars film?
No.
Not in this environment. Like,
no way.
Yeah, it can be this way. Funnily enough, if it was Jon Favreau funded by like indie level shit and he was doing a sci-fi film, I'd be like, oh no, yeah, that could be pretty cool, maybe, yeah, sure. But this, it's like, well, no.
The constraints of Disney, no.
I had a glimmer of faith when he did the first season of Mando. I liked the first few episodes.
I did.
I was like, well, he's going to be, like other people, I was suckered. I thought maybe he can save Star Wars. Yep,
looking back, I'm starting to think it was that it got a big benefit of the doubt by being so close in proximity to the sequel trilogy, because that was like the worst thing ever. But as more time went on and no more sequels came out, it had to stand on its own, and then they legit had to reveal they were like, we don't actually know what to do with it. Like, it's just there.
I think its success in the first season lay in its absolute boneheaded simplicity. where like every episode was like you could write the synopsis on the back of a beer mat or something. It was so easy. And so it was very simple, very episodic, very self-contained. Fine. There's not too many ways you can go wrong. Have a cool guy doing cool things. That's pretty much what you got there with The Mandalorian. The problems crept in where they tried to tie it into a bigger universe. They tried to have a much bigger overarching story. They clearly backtrack on the whole Grogu thing and decided like, no, we need to have him in because he's huge for merchandise and he's possibly the only popular character that we even have in Star Wars at this point. So yeah, we need to milk him for all he's worth. And that's where it fell apart. And I guess maybe Favreau saw it coming and he was just like, nah, I'm not interested in this anymore. Pretty much checked out for season 3. And everyone's favorite idiot, Dave Filoni, took over and like, wow, we got to see what he was capable of. He's the guy who's going to save Star Wars, everyone.
Yay! Save the city.
Just like
don't you believe me?
We got so much more of his stuff to come as well. I can't wait to see Thrawn return. Oh boy!
Somehow Filoni returned.
Somehow,
yeah, but a lot of people believed in him in the beginning. They thought Filoni, Clone Wars.
It's like someone gave nuclear weapons to a badly trained monkey. Yeah. This is where we're at. Like, he's just got the power to destroy entire franchises. And yeah, okay, Dave's gonna handle this one, sure.
We saw that as part of the montage. The people reacting to that Anakin cameo, they were like, "Praise Filoni. Filoni can do no wrong. Filoni will save." It's just like, good lord,
he Vadered.
What is wrong with you people?
He went full Vader.
Red. He went red.
I think maybe
window lickers, man. Window lickers.
Do you think they sell out, or are they just crushed under the weight of the
I think
like the bureaucracy?
I think in Favreau's case, I don't know about other directors and filmmakers. I think in his case, he was crushed under the weight of it because he had a successful career behind him and not a bad track record either.
No.
He's a guy who obviously knows how to put together good films. And when he's just left alone and he works on something that he's actually passionate about, good things happen. But when the studio basically mandates 90% of what has to happen in the film, a guy like Favreau can't use his abilities. He's just a figurehead.
See, that's what I've wondered. So does Disney actually, because I keep hearing different things on it, whether it's Favreau or the new Star Wars director, the one who's like, I like to offend men or make them uncomfortable. Do those directors literally not direct anything? Are they just simply figureheads? Just pure figureheads, like just the name?
If you were talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then I would say, yeah, they're just figureheads. Like they bring in Kate Shortland or they bring in Chloe Zhao or whatever the girl was who worked on the Marvels. Was it?
Nia DaCosta.
Nia DaCosta, yeah. Like relatively inexperienced directors with indie backgrounds suddenly put in charge of $200 million movies. They are just cogs in the machine, for sure.
And they go to two studios to do it. It's always the same CGI team. It's always the same, and it's just a machine.
It's like essentially we're going to take you and we're going to plug you into our existing machinery.
Put your name on it.
Yeah, that's all.
She did it. She did it.
Yeah, representation. Well done.
Yeah, because Nia DaCosta walked off halfway through, and the film still got made, and she still slagged everyone off for not watching it or going to see it.
Yeah,
she's a bit rich.
Well, there was a really telling interview where she said, there were scenes we were shooting where I just thought to myself, I don't know what the fuck this even is or what it's for.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, took the piss out of her in my review.
She could piss off though because she didn't have anything to do. Because she was cast purely on superficial reasons again. She had no body of work. She had no actual reason to be dealing with a film of that nature with that sort of budget, just like Chinoy Benoit woman. They're not made for those roles. They don't have the experience for those roles. They shouldn't be anywhere near these roles. So, we already heard them say that the only reason why the Marvels failed is because there wasn't enough studio interference with this director. So when
there wasn't enough pandering either.
Yeah. When she'd gone on set and just said, "You go here," and then the studio went, "Okay, fine, your work's done. Now you can just sit there. Now let us deal with it all." Yeah, as soon as they could do the final take, she could go off and fuck off and do what she wanted.
Yeah, you don't think it hurt a little bit as the fact that she thought Captain America was a villain was a little bit of a turnoff to Marvel fans?
Oh, George, you've got to be confused with somebody who gives a fuck.
I've seen her in other stuff, and she's actually not too bad. I mean, she was in Blitz with Jason Statham, but here, I don't know what Captain Marvel, I don't know what the fuck she was doing there. She was like, is she trying to be a sympathetic villain or a hammy villain? It was really inconsistent.
More like pathetic villain.
Yeah, there you go.
It was the grill that really sold me on the character. Like, oh man, oh wow, you're terrifying. But yeah, like we talked quickly. We talked a little bit there about like directors just getting plugged into the machine. Now that was fair enough in Marvel's case because there was an existing machinery there that allowed them to churn out movies reliably for a while, at least. In the case of Star Wars, it would be like plugging someone into a broken down fucking like disastrous like fucking engine where all the cogs are missing and stuff. Like there is not that kind of existing machinery for churning out films reliably. They don't have that. I think it's more a case of like them screaming at the director, "Oh my God, please help us! We have no clue what's going on." And that's, you know, you had guys like J.J. Abrams who self-destructed his career through Star Wars. You had Rian Johnson who just said Star Wars and then went off to do his own thing promptly. So yeah, they don't have that mechanism really for producing movies at a constant rate.
It's been
and again,
years,
like
it's been like what, 4 years since the
and they can announce things until the cows come home, but until they actually make stuff, I'm not going to be convinced. Really,
there can't be that many left now. Fucking hell! Remember when Az showed you a panel with all the Star Wars and Marvels announced, and that camera zoomed into your face, and you looked fucking destroyed.
I think something in my brain broke in that moment. I just thought I'm losing my faith in humanity right now.
There can't be that many left now. They must have fucking shut them all out.
You'd be surprised how much shit they can do.